What up? What up? What up? What up, good people? We're back. 6 Point Perspective, back for episode 14. Boy, it's 3 weeks in a row. Boy, we're on a roll.
5.
We're on a roll. We are
14.
on
That
a
was
roll.
it's my little league football number, 14.
14.
Retired, baby.
Retired. Rod, who we got? Who we got? Who's sponsoring us today?
We have a very special sponsor today. Today's sponsor is Miss Mildred, aka Hex Admin. She teaches IT classes and sells $2 Ripple shots during her lunch break. Shout out to Miss Mildred, Hex Admin.
I don't know who
Let's go.
Mildred is, people. I have
She
no
was
idea who Mildred is.
She was taking
But,
shots last night.
Taking shots. Hey, she was drunk last night, Speedy.
But you know what? You can't. Rod is clean off the short bus today, and he just took his helmet off. So you all have to excuse him. It's okay. it's all right. It's all right. So look, good people, we're gonna jump right in. Whew. I'm gonna start with something just a little on the lighter topic. I think we have one, two, three. Oh my God. It may not apply to anybody in this group. Um, I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and he told me uh he was trying to find a place. He was out of town, was trying to find a place to get his haircut. And he found a spot and he put in an appointment, and his haircut was $60.
No, sir.
That's normal.
$60. Fellas. Now I ain't no hold up now. I've been bald since 94. So it's been a long time since I've been in a barbershop. $60 for a haircut. Are we serious right now?
That's normal.
Hey, what's going on, man? Y'all
That's normal.
talking to me. How that's normal.
normal?
I mean, all you guys on here bald headed except me.
Show off.
But $60 is that's the going rate now. I mean, there's no more $20 haircuts. Them days are over with.
20. I don't even remember $20 haircuts. I was paying $8 to $10 with a tip. Like
12, dog.
Once again, I said 94. So I'm aging myself. So that was a while ago. So $60. The haircut don't last a week.
Yeah.
Well, you threw me off when you said he made an appointment. Like,
you have to do that now.
Yeah, you gotta make an appointment. Yeah.
what?
Yeah, them days of just walking in the barbershop, like you can walk in, but it's cast that set appointments. It's cast set appointments.
I mean, you guys don't have that problem. All you guys are bald headed, all 5 bald headed and one dude with hair.
First of all,
That's me.
Hold on.
I still pay money, significant money, to get my hair done. All right.
And your face too.
That's right. Like exfoliate, all that good stuff. Right. So that's the going rate for a haircut, man. I'm telling you, it's kind of expensive.
Hold up.
Let
me ask you a question. So I cut my hair off 95. Even back then, like when I came home from the military, my wife's cousin, God rest his soul, was a barber. And I would treat myself because I always liked the hot towel on my face and my head and get the shave with the straight razor. But I would every time I just give him $30. And that was me treating myself. And back to me, $30 was a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are telling me that you have to make an appointment for just a plain, like a fade. Like you getting a fade and a tight line. And I'm not talking about, I know cats get the enhancers where they spray like if you thin and stuff like that. You're telling me haircuts are $60 now?
$60.
I pay 40 and I get the works. And if I were to get some extra stuff done, it would equate to about 60. And I definitely have to make an appointment. Otherwise, like Heck said, I'd be in the barbershop all day. Like
so here's my question.
What is the
works?
Explain that. Say again.
What's the works?
I mean, I can't give away my secrets, kid. Listen, those things I gotta, keep on the wraps between me and my stylist. But it's a whole
That's
bunch
the
of extra stuff. It's like herbal stuff. It's like, man, y'all got to listen. You only get one body, man. Like, you got to take care of yourself. And I'm not blessed like you guys and being handsome and stuff. So I got to get the accessories.
Oh
I
No,
got to get the
I
so
can
accessories.
understand doing a facial, but you can buy all that stuff yourself and do it yourself.
so
No, man, you
so
got to
I'm
get
tripping.
pampered and stuff.
I'm tripping because I cut mine off and I cut my hair off at 92. But like E said, every once in a while, you gotta feel good. You gotta pamper yourself and head to the barbershop because you want the hot towel treatment.
There you go. There
Your
you go.
beard and the whole nine.
There you
Every
go.
once in a while,
I've
right?
never done that. Not one
I
time.
still
I want to.
I still go.
Oh, you got to.
I still go to Southeast Raleigh and get my haircut right across the street from St. Aul. Right. I did all that
Take
maybe
it.
a year ago for like
You take your
$25,
gun with you when
$30.
you go over there.
Woo, yeah, we're not gonna talk about those type of things today, Eric.
Is
But no,
that
man.
Santa Claus beard popping off today?
Hey, man,
Get
it
Santa
pops
Claus
off. You know what I'm
beard.
saying? Hey, listen, it pops off, right? So my man, trims it up, and like Kobe said, get the hot towel, the straight razor. I think I paid like $25 like a year ago. Now this is in Southeast Raleigh though, so I guess depending upon where you are, the prices are going to change. Now I have heard a lot of barbers say, "Hey, you got to make an appointment to see." So yeah, I have heard that. And now, as far as $60 concerned, I think that's quite egregious.
These
See,
dudes are being like stylists, like
Yeah,
hairdressers.
they
yeah,
are
no,
barbers.
Yeah.
that's
Barbers
Yeah,
are
that's
stylists
exactly
now.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
So
oh, so
so
that's what it is. So Speedy goes to the hairdresser to get this
No,
$60 cut.
no. I go to the barber. I mean, what did you guys say? Kobe was what 95. You was 92. Hack was 94. How many years ago was that?
yeah,
My,
that's
Hey
hey,
that's
man,
This
hey,
is
that's
hey man,
that's
hold on.
30
this is
years
20.
ago.
30.
Hey man,
This is
hold on.
2020. Yeah, this is
Hey,
2024.
Yeah.
Everything
hey,
has went up.
look at
Yeah.
Grandpa.
And so
Everything has
so
went up.
so I think even back then, if you think about it and just real talk, we had some very skilled barbers back then. And really were not they weren't looked upon as artists and looked upon as somewhat like beauticians or what have you, just making sure that they enhance. They weren't looked upon that way. So like now, I think you have a situation. I can't. I'm only assuming this, but now it's like, pay me what I'm worth. So if they're gonna line you up, they're gonna do all these different things. Then yeah, pay me.
hold
So
up, hold up.
so I can't say I don't get it. I get it.
So let me ask you this, uh, Speedy. So if a haircut is $60, how much is just a straight line? Like I had a haircut in a week and a half. I don't want a haircut, but let's say, you yourself, because I'm married, you got a hot date and you just want a tight line. How much is that?
That's gonna be 40.
No, sir. No, sir. No.
He's
Bro,
Uh,
no sir, no
hey, bro,
sir.
you ain't went on the Temu and bought no clippers yourself yet?
hold
Put a
on.
damn edge up,
You,
man.
you,
They
you're
ain't
telling
bump
me
his
it's
head.
$40 for an edge up.
For
So
edge up?
so a single
$40.
cat, a single cat is gonna go get a lineup, which is gonna cost him 40.
It's nothing is $20 anymore.
I
Yeah, we understand that.
So I guess
Yeah.
the thing is that if you're gonna pay that kind of money, you might as well go and get everything done. Like I'm just not going to get a
Abs-
$40.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get everything done. Like I'm getting my face done. If I'm gonna spend that kind of money, then I need to make sure that I go ahead. I get the hot towel, I get the facial, I get everything and get my money's worth. So there's no sense in me going there giving you $40 for lining me up. Like that's crazy.
do I
I
get
mean,
a
it's
scalp?
like
I get a scalp massage with that $60.
I need hot towels, scalp massage, something.
No, that's gonna be I mean that's gonna be extra right there.
All right, I'm out.
I mean you
Yeah,
guys
Hey man, what do y'all think this is, man? Y'all ain't Deshaun Watson. This ain't Deshaun. What
what?
do y'all think's happening at the barbershops?
Hey,
Like,
hey,
like,
man,
like
what,
hey,
I'm gonna
hey,
tell
I'm
you what
paying this
happened.
man.
hey,
hey,
Deshaun, hey.
Hey,
what do
Deshaun
you
Watson.
what do
Do you
y'all
know?
what do y'all
Wait.
what do y'all
Do you know how
take y'all
much sixty
dates to
dollars
cook out?
is?
So what else?
Where y'all take y'all dates to cook out?
I'm married.
That's what-
Hey,
I'm
Captain
married.
Swan,
I
we
ain't taking
going,
no.
hey,
No.
man,
Oh
y'all
man.
Hey,
y'all sounding real cheap right now, man.
we go to Dario. You know,
Oh
Oh,
man.
I like
Scooty,
Darius now.
we
I
go
you
to
know
like
you
Darius.
taking
Dario.
a, you know
I
You
ain't
you
know,
taking
cheap, but I'm
trips to
just saying
varsity.
$60 is a lot of money.
Hey
Like
man,
in the
for
grand scheme of
yeah,
things. In the
that's
grand
the
$60
going
scheme
for
of
a
rate.
cousin lot.
But like I said, you guys don't have to worry about that. So I mean,
to
it
that,
is what it is. I mean,
You
I'm the
said
only one. I'm the only one who have to worry about that.
you got
Oh,
to keep
I
saying that,
worry
right?
about it.
Hey, look. Hey, look. So, which I guess is kind of segues us into to the next conversation because
What the hell are we doing? Dancing around, telling secrets, like girls at a slumber party. I can just imagine my old man with his buddies sitting at their lawn chairs, laughing their asses off that I missed a whole day of football because I'm trying to get in touch with my emotions. These guys didn't do that crap. These were men. His best friend, Tommy Ryan, lost half a finger in a sheet metal press, waited until his shift ended to go to the hospital. I broke my collarbone in a football game. There was Dad up in the stands giving me the old be tough. So I played 2 more downs before I passed out. My date, Mary Jo Klumsky, left the senior dance with another guy. Broke my heart. 2 a.m. at the kitchen table, my old man's telling me eat the sandwich and forget about her. Feelings. I didn't even cry at his funeral, you believe that? The guy was my whole world. Not a tear. Everybody looking at me like I didn't love him. But he knew. He had to know, right?
we're having just a very candid conversation about things that go on with us as just as black men, but we're comfortable in our own skin, and we can have conversations. And we have thick skin because we crack on each other all day, every day. That's just what we do, and we don't take it personal. We don't get sensitive, but not everyone's like that, and oftentimes we hear or we say the younger generations is soft and they're not like us and they're not built like us and they don't do the things that we do. But I think with our age, there were a lot of things that we were exposed to coming up that kind of stick with us. And I think one of the things that is said about us is that we oftentimes don't make or allow ourselves to be vulnerable around each other, and that oftentimes our relationships with each other are not truly authentic. Now, I think part of that is just stereotype, but I think there is some truth to it. So I guess the question would be, do you think we're vulnerable as a people? And I'm talking about black men in general. I'm not talking about black women. Do you think we're vulnerable? Um, and if not, why aren't we?
how we were raised.
Okay.
Um, and I say that because we're all around the same age. I mean, I'm the youngest in the group. I'm gonna throw that out there. Uh, no, but seriously though, we were raised like as boys, you don't cry. You're tough. Um, and that kind of sticks with you. If you do cry, you're being soft. You're being weak. The old folks used to say you're being a sissy. You know what I'm saying? As a boy. Um, and that as you grow, especially we've all played sports. We've all had coaches who say, "Oh, you show weakness. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't show weakness. You know what I'm saying?" Um, and that sticks with you when you become a man. I myself went to the military through boot camp. When things got hard doing boot camp, drill instructors would say you were soft, you being a sissy, stuff like that. And it just sticks with you over time. But it comes to a certain point where if you do show weakness or you show some kind of emotion, then you're being weak. I myself have learned to say it's okay to be emotional, be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife have had intimate conversations, uh, and I have this thing. I feel like the older I get, the more sensitive I become. So, but it's just how we were raised as
So,
boys.
so a follow-up question, and thank you for the follow-up question. Has that everything you just described, has that hurt you or caused any of you to lose relationships because of that?
It from my standpoint, it hasn't caused me to lose relationships, so to speak, but it's a catch-22 with us as black men. And what I mean when I say catch-22 is when we are around our women, there are times when we have to be careful, unless you have a woman that fully understands you and supports you. We have to be careful. And when I say be careful is if we show absolutely no emotion, we don't care. We're cold, we're callous, we don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we show an ounce of emotion, we're being weak. You know what I'm saying? We're weak at that point, right? Unless you have a woman that allows you to be vulnerable around her, and that vulnerability is a tough nut to crack with us because, like E said, we aren't allowed as black men to ever be vulnerable. We aren't allowed as black men to ever show any emotion because of how we were raised. Like E said, we went outside. We got our legs torn up. Concrete. You bleed, and so what? You might get a band-aid, put it on, and keep it pushing. So it's yeah, again, it's a catch-22 with us. We have to be careful with our emotions. If we get too hype or too amped up, we become angry and violent and atypical. But if we don't show that emotion, again, we don't care. So it's kind of a slippery slope.
All right. Appreciate it. Kev, Cole, Speedy, y'all got any comments? Anything you want to add?
I'm too emotionally closed off to comment, so that was a joke.
No, I think Rod and E had valid points. Just one of those things. And honestly, I'm sitting here thinking, I think, and no shade, I think today's generation, they may be a little more, where versus where we came up and during our time, we were told not to show, the vulnerability and things of that nature. So I think you may see it today in more men, so.
So I'm gonna ask a question. It's a personal question. I don't know if you all gonna answer it. Have any of you ever cried in front of your woman?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
yes,
No,
You said no. You said no.
absolutely
Yes,
not.
yes. No,
yes. I have.
I
Yeah, I have.
remember. I remember that I've actually cried a couple of times, and it's been like in the last few years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something funny. Years ago, we were playing to get to the semifinals states for football. 3 touchdown underdog. Long story short, we ended up winning with 30 seconds left in the game. And I'm just so overcome with emotion. I literally start crying on the sideline. And I get home. My wife was at the game. And my wife says, "Is your big 300-pound ass crying?" And I was like, and I was like, yeah. And another time when I dropped my son off at college, we got him set up, went to Walmart, got a bunch of stuff, and he was like an hour away. And I'm like, we're leaving campus. And I'm just thinking, man, and I was a teenage dad. So I'm going through my mind all the things that I've been through with my son, which, by the way, he's 33 today. Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Brother.
And I mean, I'm driving and I had to pull over because I was just a ball of emotion. And once again, my wife was like, "Is your big ass over there crying?" I'm just like, yeah, yeah. So
Hey,
yeah, man.
who is this with the iPhone in the waiting room?
That's me, Coach.
Okay. I was just making sure.
My phone getting ready to die. So
Okay, all good, all good. So,
So to answer the question again, Hack, yeah, man. I've cried in front of old girl. Um,
Who is
over
old
the last
girl?
that's not that part's not important. You know. But it has happened. You know what I'm saying? I over the last 15 years, man, it's been a rough go for me. You know, personal in my personal life. You know, stuff that I've gone through. I lost my mom 7 years ago. Lost pops 3 years ago. So it's the culmination of all the things that I've gone through, and losing my mom, losing my dad. You know what I'm saying? So one day, you know, we just kind of chilling, and I'm thinking about all those things. You know what I'm saying? And she looked at me. She said, "But yeah, you overcame." And when she said that, dog, I was done. You know what I'm saying? I was done. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I broken down, man. I broke down in front of a girl before. Like, you
Pull up
know.
my scriptures and read. Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I'm not even comment. No,
No, sir.
no
No,
comment.
sir.
No,
Off camera, we'll touch it.
I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna touch. But
I'll tell you, Hack. I'm one of those masculine toxic persons when it comes to emotion. I don't show emotions around people. It's very rare. Like it has to be a very significant event, like the loss of
mm,
a friend or a family member. And even then, it's still very um contained. I think
yeah,
is the best word.
mhm,
And I don't know how to deal with it. I got some outlets, obviously I work out and lift weights and do other stuff. There's a very few small circle of folks I confide in, but I'm definitely in that boat of dudes that really struggle with that. So,
well,
Yeah, I can feel that. My dad used to get on me all the time about holding stuff in because I wouldn't show any emotion at all. If stuff was bothering me personally, I wouldn't say anything. I just kind of would cycle it through my mind and try to figure it out myself.
mhm,
Um, that was just me. I rarely showed any emotion. It's funny that he always knew when something was bothering me because he's like, well, "What's wrong with you?" And I'd
mhm,
say nothing. He goes, "This is." He could always tell, but
mhm.
nobody else could tell. But I always used to always hold it in. So still do. So it's just
yep.
kind of something that I've done. So
And so and thank y'all for that because mm, I'm a combination of the two. I have um cried in front of my wife before. Um,
She hit you.
I'm sorry. I'm
See,
sorry. I'm sorry.
now you see,
I can't laugh.
you try to. That's why cat's not vulnerable. That
No,
can't
no,
be
no,
vulnerable because of stuff
no,
like that
no,
right there. Because of
no,
stuff like that right there.
no.
And,
You
and
can be
my wife,
vulnerable.
and just to let you know, my wife is gonna see this, and when she sees
Sorry.
what you said, that
That is
you,
not
hey,
funny, man.
your invite is gonna be revoked. So I'm
No,
just gonna tell
no.
her to watch it. I'm just gonna tell her
First
to
of
watch
all,
it. Mm-mm.
first of all, your wife is a beautiful lady, and
I
I.
Yes.
appreciate it. That's not gonna get you out of it, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey,
Two
hey, hey,
hits.
hey, hey, hey,
Heck,
Miss Hack,
blink
Miss Hack,
once if you're
Miss,
in trouble.
Miss, Miss hey, hey, Miss Hack, for the record, Miss Hack, you're an incredible lady, and I know you never lay hands on Mr. Hack.
Oh man, that man, whoo, you gonna pay for that one. But anyway,
Nah,
um,
brother, I'm sorry. I'm just playing.
oh man, it's all good. But to Rod, to your point, I lost my mom in 2000. Um, I lost my dad in 2009. In both instances, I had to prepare, I had to prepare the funeral for both my parents. I had a younger sibling. Y'all met my brother, um, who my mom died was a, a rising senior in high school. Um, My dad died. He um was out of college, and he got in some trouble. But yet through all of that, didn't bat an eye, didn't blink, didn't cry, just stood upright, did everything that I was supposed to do because that is what I had always been taught. That's what a man does. He stands on his own too. He holds his head high. He doesn't waver. He doesn't show a ounce of weakness because that is the way that I was raised and the way that I was taught.
But you have to, like,
Mhm.
you have to grieve at some point.
And that's the point. At that point, I hadn't. And um and it came to a point in time I'm riding down the street one day, just normal day. And this song comes on the radio, reminds me of my mom, and like the snap of a finger, it's like waterworks. I'm just in the car just sobbing like I couldn't uncontrollably. And um and it happens and then I have daughters, and that changed the game. And so, being vulnerable, being sensitive, having to develop a nurturing type behavior and spirit for my daughters because I couldn't go with my daughters the way I coached my football team. I coached my football team one way. I ended up coaching women's basketball, which helped me in that transition because I couldn't coach them the way that I coached football. It helps you develop more empathy. It helps you develop this having an understanding. And so now I still don't get overly emotional about things. It's just one of those things where you just you take some things, but it's a balance, man. It's a balance. As black men, there's a balance that we have to have, and I think you all have touched on it. We cannot be um too overly emotional, but because then we're labeled as hotheads. We're labeled as you can't talk to us, we don't communicate well, all those different things. And then you can't be one of those that is standoffish or just stoic because then we're uncaring, we're unfeeling. We don't, we don't we lack empathy. We don't care about anything. And then that's where the the animalistic the animal traits and things of that nature come into play. We get labeled many different things. But I think what I wanted to get into before we wrap up was therapy. Therapy. I think um for us having to fight battles on many different levels, just being black men. I refuse to say people of color anymore because I'm just not. We are black men, and that's for another show. But um, I think we have to take care of our mental and emotional well-being. And I will tell you, if you haven't, if you don't, look into getting a therapist. I've had a therapist for years. He retired, and I have to find a new one. Um, but even finding a therapist is a venture for us because we have to find someone that can identify with who we are and what our needs are. We can't just go to anybody. Can't just go on a phone book and just pick out somebody or did I say phone book? Um, you just can't Google.
Yeah.
No
You
collab.
know, just
That's a,
can't you just can't Google
They still
and
use
find
phone books at
somebody now.
Central.
Um,
I knew that was
says
coming.
says the man who just it took him 20 minutes to get his audio working.
it did. I'm on
Wow.
on this iPhone. I don't know nothing about no iPhone.
What is
So
that? What see, that's why you need to stay with the iPhone. You're messing with
no,
that
no,
other one.
no, no, no,
You're
no.
messing with that other one.
My work phone is iPhone. I mean, iPhone's overrated, man.
fellas. How many? I mean, have any of you all had therapists before, or currently have a therapist? If you don't mind sharing that.
I have one.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a therapist. I don't know
Black
if I've ever.
man, black man, black woman.
I have a black female therapist actually.
Okay. Okay.
Super easy to talk to. Yeah, super easy to talk to. Non-judgmental. She understands. She understands incredibly well the difficulties that we as black men go through. So yeah, I do have a therapist.
I do not have one. I have looked into getting a therapist. Actually, me and my wife had this conversation about 3 weeks ago. There's some things in my past, in my childhood, that I have PTSD from, and only my wife knows. Like, she knows the majority. She doesn't know everything, but I I'm scarred. There's certain things that I won't do. Like, I don't like to ride with people because I feel like I'm not in control. I've been left places with no ride, stuff like that. So I have PTSD, and I'm actually, my wife and I have had that conversation about me getting a therapist. I'm still on the fence about it. I find that me telling a total stranger my problems, that's what I have an issue with. Now, that's not to say that I don't have an outlet. I do have two friends that I confide in when I just feel like I need to just talk to somebody. I have reached out to you guys at times and be like, hey, look, this is what's going on. I just need some words of encouragement or a prayer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still on the fence. We'll see. That's for another episode. If I do get a therapist, I will let you guys know.
I mean it. I mean, it sounds like. With all you guys talking, it seems like all of you guys have lost a parent. I mean, is that what I'm listening to? That's what I heard.
That I have not lost a parent.
You have
I
not.
have, I have
I've
not.
lost, I've lost both of mine.
Yeah, man. I lost both of mine, man.
I know Rod
Lost,
have.
lost both of
Kobe
Yeah,
mine.
did.
man.
Then Kobe said he lost his parent too. One of his parents.
Grandparents.
Oh,
Grandparents.
grandparent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know it's tough. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have, my mom and dad. They still living, but both of them have cancer, but it's in remission right now with both of them. But they still here.
Praise God.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely,
Yes, sir. Yes,
absolutely.
sir.
And I'm a guy. I think I'm like Kobe said. I mean, I don't show no emotion, man. I'm just my daughter tell me all the time, Daddy, you don't never smile. You don't. I mean, that's just me. That's just who I am. I mean, they say I put up this facade, but I'm soft as candy because my little girl can get anything from me.
I was just about to say that, man. All of
Yeah,
us have girls, man. All of us have girls,
Oh,
man. And
I got a
it's just some,
granddaughter.
it's just
yeah,
something different, man. It's
Yes,
all
sir.
I say it all the time, man. All men need a daughter. It's something that is different about having a daughter.
Well,
I mean,
I can tell you the one thing that is different is that when you get old and the daughters will take care of you.
yeah,
Them boys gonna look at you like
Cancel it, dog.
crazy.
No,
Like
no,
them boys gonna look at you like you're crazy.
no,
Like
I ain't gonna
you
say
want me to
that, man.
do what? Man, I'm not changing no diaper. What's wrong with you?
I,
Like you
I'm gonna have to disagree with that because
mad?
Yeah.
you know she may hear this, she may not, but my sister didn't do anything for my dad, and she lived closer to him than I did.
Mm.
So you know,
Wow.
I'm not
Wow,
gonna dive into that
that's
deep,
man,
but
that's a shocker.
My son, man, when I had my total knee replacement, he was calling like every day, like, hey, Daddy, you got an appointment, you need to go to, you got rehab, like what you need, you know what I'm saying? And my son is a lot like you guys. He doesn't show emotion. He, which I try to get him to. He just recently started saying that he loved me and my wife. So, which that is amazing in itself. But yeah, my son was there. I mean, my daughter, she always gonna ride for her daddy. You know what I'm saying? But my granddaughter, hey man, she run the house. She can get anything she want. Like me said, my granddaughter can have anything she want. You want candy before dinner? You sure can. You want ice cream?
Oh
Let, let,
man.
let's have some. Let's do it.
I mean, but I mean, like I say, I mean, very seldom. Last time I cried was, man, it's the toughest thing that I ever been through, like in my life, man. One of my partners, his little girl, she was 4 years old, and she drowned. But
Mm,
check this out, she drowned on their wedding day.
Mm. I remember you
So
telling us about that, man.
oh,
yeah, so I went to the funeral, man. When I said, when I say I cried like a baby in there, I couldn't stop crying.
It's tough, man.
I couldn't stop crying, man. Seeing that little casket. I mean, I
That's
didn't know the,
tough,
I
bro.
didn't know
That's
the, I didn't,
tough.
I didn't know the little girl, but I mean, I knew her parents, but I mean, that's just, I mean, that's like I'm saying, like, shoot, that could have been my little girl
Hmm.
yeah,
easily. I mean,
yeah,
so that
Easily.
really, yeah, that really got me. That really got me.
yeah. So I think that the thing for all of this is when you have a circle of friends, um, make it, make yourself vulnerable. Tell them you love them. Confide in them. Let them know how you feel because if you don't, and you keep that stuff, one, you keep it bottled up. You don't say things, and things happen. When they say give a person their flowers while they're here, it's something different, man. When you're looking at a casket or you're in a memorial service, and there's so many things that you feel like you should have said that you didn't say, and it's no way of doing, it's no way of expressing that how you feel to anyone. And so making yourself vulnerable doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you soft. Um, it more so it makes you human because for so long, and I'm talking to the brothers in this, the five brothers here, and anybody else that's watching. You know, so many times people look at us like we're machines. We're treated like we're machines. We treat ourselves like we're machines. You ask somebody, hey man, how's it going, man? I'm just grinding. No, I'm not grinding. I'm not grinding. I'm not grinding myself and working myself to death. You are not a machine. You're not you're not an animal. You're not a beast. You're human. You're human. You have feelings. You have emotions. Um, and you care about people and you care about things, and it's okay. And it's okay. And it took me a long time to be able to convince myself that I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with being that person. Yeah. My last year, we had a lot of success in football, and I cried a couple of times in front of my boys because I was happy for them. I was happy for the effort they put in and the things that they were able to accomplish despite all the obstacles and things that were put in front of them. And so, you know, showing or being vulnerable for them was probably one of the biggest things that I had ever done, just simply because they all looked at me like, man, that's Coach Hack. Like he don't that ain't what he does. Like he like he's that dude. And so, but I had to show them that, hey man, I care about you. And so every practice, after every practice, and to this day when I talk to them, I always tell them I love them. At the end of practice, well, I love you. I love you. Love you too, coach. Love you too, coach. Because for that short amount of time that they were with me, that may have been the only time they ever heard somebody tell them they love them. They may not get that at home. They may not have people that truly be willing to ride for them the way their coaches will be ready to ride for them. So all of that to say, fellas, you know, I got a frat brother that always says, uh, go his P Funk. He always says, love on who you love. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying love on who you love, man, because it's You don't know. Snap of a finger, that person may not be here tomorrow.
or
And
or you may not be here.
exactly, or I may not be here. And so, you know, you got to let a person know how you feel because, if you don't, it's going to be all that what if burger that's just laying out there. Like you just what if? Like, did they really care? Did they know that I really cared about them? Like, and you don't want that. You don't want people thinking that about you. But some people may not care about that.
Man, that's a great point, Coach. I mean, I had a kid. They had like a reception. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to. I just went to a reception. So we downtown. So he gets up. He's one of my former players. He gets up and says, uh, "Coach, man, you've been like, whether you know it or not, you've been like a father figure to me, and I'm getting married, and I want you to be the best man in my wedding." So I'm like taken aback. So I run to the bathroom.
Mhm.
I run to the bathroom. I got 4 or 5. I got like 4 or 5 of my other kids. They there. They never seen me like get emotional because I was a disciplinarian. I was the one that ran them all the time.
Yeah.
I did all that. They had lookouts for my.
Mhm.
We had Coca-Cola vans then. They
Mhm.
had lookouts for my Coca-Cola van. I came to work. So they never seen me like that. So I had to run to the bathroom, get myself together, and then I came back. They're like, "Nah, coach, man, you been in there crying, coach."
Oh,
I say,
oh
"Yeah,
man.
that, yeah, that really shook me up right there." But man, them kids, man, I mean, they just be a party. They a part of your life, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
like,
yeah, yeah. And it's so fellas, that's all. That's it for tonight. I mean, we've been on for a while. I think it's been a great conversation, man. I just think we got to keep this going. So not only with us, but with our friends, with our close friends, with the people that's in our circle, man. We got to keep this dialogue going. But what I will say is just try. If you're not used to it, just try. Just try to make yourself vulnerable
yeah,
and just see what it does for you. That's
yeah,
all I can tell you. Just see what it does for you.
yeah.
No
This one,
doubt.
and coach, before we close it out with his parting shots, it's like reading people. Uh, I just sit back and I observe, and I mean, Rodney's on here, and I mean, I read Rodney. I mean, I knew some things was going on with Rodney, and then I called him on the phone. I like, man, what's going on with you? And he was telling me about his job situation, and I like, look, man, this is what you do. I told him to get your CDLs. I
Mhm.
like, go to Coca Cola, let them pay for your CDLs. Once you get your CDLs, you can do what you want to do after that.
That's
Now he has his CDLs. He can do what he wants to. He don't have to work for Coke. I mean, he can do other things. I know he's driving the dump trucks, and I know he just got another job. But I knew something was going on with our brother, and I reached out to him.
hey, that's
Exactly.
real talk. That's real talk, man. That conversation we had that conversation, man. What 2.5 years ago now?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
real talk. That's real talk, man. Hey, and I appreciate that.
absolutely.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We have to be able, they always tell us to read the room. But when reading the room, when you have true, authentic relationships with people, you know when something's bothering them. You know
Mhm.
when things aren't quite right. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their mannerisms and their body language. And so, you know, just try your best, to be there. Cole, I'm not gonna put Cole's business out there, but Cole lost somebody close to him. That's all I can say. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I ain't gonna let him. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. But you know, it's as long as I've known him, he's right. He's never been that guy. Like even when we coach football, like I'm out there screaming and hollering, and he's sitting over there with Coach Taylor, step, 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 like that. That was his thing. Like he wasn't he just not overly emotional. but I know that brother cares. I know if I needed anything, I could call him and say, "Hey man, I got this going on. What can you do for me? Can you help me?" And he gonna do everything in his power to help me. And I feel like I developed that relationship with you guys since we've been doing not only doing this podcast, but since we've been talking through text. You develop friendships and bonds with people, and it's good to be around like-minded people who will always look out for your health and well-being.
Man, as much as Eric and I clown each other, as much as E and I go back and forth, man, as much as we clown each other, if we're in the chat group, in the text group, and I don't hear from E over a certain amount of time, I will pick up the phone, I will call that dude, I will text that dude, hey yo dog, what's up? I ain't heard from you.
Mhm.
What's happening? You know what I'm saying? And he always answers.
Be in my feelings sometimes, man. I
And he
do.
Be
I be in my feelings.
in his feelings, but he'll answer though.
and he
Yeah,
drinking
dog,
that
hey
he
dog.
drinking that root beer.
That's what it is.
That's what he's doing.
Is
He's
that what
drinking
it
that root
is?
beer. That's
To the
probably why you ain't
head.
heard from him.
To the head.
Hey man, chill out. Chill out.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I got a question. Two questions. First of all, we just gonna act like Kobe didn't call himself toxic. I'm just saying we gonna glance over that.
The man
Hey,
said
we'll
he's
get to that.
Definitely,
he's
definitely
toxic,
Yeah,
toxic.
yeah.
he
toxic
told
masculinity.
he told him off the
But
rip. I'm toxic.
I
Don't
can
mess with
code
me.
switch though. See, that's the key. I can
You
code
got
switch
to.
easy.
Genesis
That's
chapter 11, verse 10.
that's a whole nother topic in itself about
Whole
code
other
switch.
topic. Code switching. Yeah.
I
That's
do
a
it. I
subject one
do it
day.
every day.
He
I
That's a
do it
code
every
subject one
switches
day.
day.
all the time. Powder puff.
That's a subject one day, Hack. Code switching.
Hey, but the second thing is, and I know all y'all remember this, because y'all had black parents when you used to get a whooping and you start crying and they say shut up before I give you something to cry about.
Whole
You
other
whooping
subject, bruh.
you
This whooping
whooping my
hurt.
ass. Why can't I cry?
And that's where those early lessons come from.
Yeah.
Shut up. When you about to explode.
That's how. That's how.
You're literally beating the life out of me, but you don't want me to cry.
And y'all probably can't tell you how many times y'all whoop y'all kids. Probably none.
None.
I can count on
Hey,
one hand. On
Oh
one
yeah.
hand, I think
Yeah.
one hand.
no,
And when I say crushed me,
Eh,
like
Man,
oh
listen.
I
yeah.
can't
Man,
like
listen.
crushed me.
Hey,
Yeah.
dog, me and my wife, we got into an argument. When my daughter turned 16, she just got a license, and so you have your provisionals. You can't drive after 9 o'clock. So me and my wife told we were going out of town, but we ended up coming back early, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're at the stoplight. True story. And my daughter is driving by in the car we just bought her. Now she was 16 at the time. You're only supposed to have one person in the car. Had a carload. She had a Volkswagen. She had a blue Volkswagen, and had a carload of people. She comes home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and my wife puts hands on my daughter. And that's her. She gave up. She gave birth to him. But after it was all said and done, my daughter went to bed. She crying. I'm in the upset because my wife done put her hands on my baby. I told my wife laying in the bed, I said, if you ever put your hands on my daughter like that again, there's gonna be some problems. And you know what my wife told me? Shut up, Eric, and go to sleep and rolled over.
Woo, boy, I'm trying to tell you. My wife and her daughter, and them daughters, I let her have at it. Whatever she needs to do,
Have
you go ahead
have
and
at
have
it.
at it. Have at it. I'm not getting involved that. Not getting involved for that. But all right, fellas, we need to go ahead and wrap up. We're gonna have our parting shots. Kobe, what you got for us?
So today's parting shot, especially for some of our members of our group, is to always be on time. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Wow. Shots fired.
My man. Today's actual parting shot is to be present. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Let's stay present. Let's stay engaged with each other. Let's make sure that we're not looking back on the past, because there's nothing we can do about it except to learn from it. We need to stay present in the moment, live for today, and then work for tomorrow. That's today's party shot.
All right. All right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're gonna send those words to St. Aug, and hopefully they can get you a check before the end of the year.
Boom, boom. Out.
Woo!
Shout out to HBCUs. We love you.
All right, good people. We until next time. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.
Peace.
Out.